Good evening. Welcome to Northeast Web Shots. You are watching Northeast Web Shots Evening Daily Bulletin. This is Anudeep Sharma. Here are the headlines of the day. Starting off with the national news. Khel Ratna awardees and Arjun awardees list 2020 bench. Home Ministry has extended the COVID-19 restrictions across the country till 30th of November this year to prevent any further spread of the pandemic. The Ministry of Civil Aviation launched the Krishi Udan scheme to focus on transporting perishable food products from the hilly areas, northeastern states and tribal areas. Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, while launching the scheme on October 27, stated, Krishi Udan 2.0 will help solve the problem of wastage of agricultural food wastes in the country. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri inaugurated the 14th Urban Mobility Conference 2021 through video conferencing today. The main theme of this year's conference is Mobility for All, which focuses on providing equitable access and promote inclusive urban transportation. India's Ministry of Railways has asked Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation to share 50% of revenues coming from service charges on e-ticketing, that is convenience fees, with the government. The company will start sharing half of the convenience fees with the government from November 2021. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has asked officials to concentrate on establishing a London Eye Millennium Wheel type project in Visakhapatnam and provide state-of-the-art facilities in tourism sector to attract global tourists to Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh Cabinet on Thursday decided to pass a resolution in the Assembly requesting Centre to take up the caste census of backward classes BC in the state. Jammu Kashmir, the National Investigation Agency NIA on Wednesday conducted searches at 17 locations in 7 districts of Jammu Kashmir in connection with Jamaat-e-Islami terror funding case. Jammu Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on Thursday inaugurated two-day-long Apple Festival 2021 at Sher-e-Kashmir International Convention Centre at Srinagar in presence of the Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar through virtual mode and Union MOS for Agriculture Kailash Chaudhary. Karnataka, the All India Executive Committee of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh or RSS started its 3-day meeting at Drashtothana Vijay Kendra, Dharwad, where a resolution on the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh would be passed. Mumbai, Kranti Redkar, the wife of Narcotics Control Bureau's Mumbai Zonal Director Sameer Wankade, said husband was born as Hindu and he never changed his religion. Redkar said adding Wankade had performed the Nikah in 2006 only to fulfill the wish of his late mother who was Muslim. It was just a formality. Earlier, Nationalist Congress Party NCP leader and Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik gave a statement that Wankade was born as a Muslim but forged documents including a caste certificate to show that he belonged to Hindu SC category to get a job under quota after clearing the UPSC examination. The Telangana High Court on 27th of October issued notices to state government directing it to explain how the newly enacted Rights in Land and Patadgar Passport Act 2020 could address the glitches in Dharni portal. Serious questions have been raised over the constitutional validity of the Dharni initiative in a view of state government bringing drastic changes in the registration processes without centre's approval. Registration being a subject in the concurrent list, approval of the centre is mandatory for any legislation brought out by the state with regard to it. Uttarakhand Prime Minister Modi will visit Kedarnath, Uttarakhand on 5th of November. Prime Minister will be offering prayers at the Kedarnath temple and thereafter inaugurate Sri Adi Shankaracharya Samadhi and unveil the statue of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. The Samadhi has been reconstructed after the destruction in 2013 floods. Coming to our entertainment news, Aryan Khan got bail after 3 weeks in drugs on cruise case. He was taken into custody on October 3rd, hours after drug raids on a cruise ship party of the Narcotics Control Bureau. The star son has been in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail since October 8 and had been denied bail twice. South superstar Rajinikanth on Thursday has been admitted to Kaveri Hospital in Chennai after he went there for a routine checkup. The actor, who was in New Delhi a few days back to receive the esteemed Dada Saheb Naroji Award for his contribution to cinema, had gone to hospital for a routine checkup where he later had been admitted. Coming towards defense news, 75th Infantry Day, the Indian Army celebrates October 27th every year as the Infantry Day. On this day, the 1st Battalion of the Sikh Regiment landed at Srinagar Air Base and displayed resoluteness and extraordinary courage and became the wall to thwart the evil designs of the Pakistan Army, who had invaded Kashmir with the help of tribal raiders in 1947. Indian Air Force remembers the role of Pashurama aircraft in transporting army troops to Jammu Kashmir in 1947. The Indian Navy is working on tailor-made solution to help friendly countries confront pressing challenges in the maritime domain, with the border aim to emerge as a preferred security partner and make a real contribution for an open and inclusive Indo-Pacific, Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh stated. Now coming towards international news, Prime Minister Modi on 29th of October, Thursday, attended the 18th ASEAN India Summit and exchanged views on regional and global issues with ASEAN partners. Addressing a virtual meet, the Prime Minister said that the country decided to celebrate 2022 as India-ASEAN Friendship Year to commemorate 30 years of ASEAN-India partnership. Prime Minister Modi will embark on a 5-day visit to Italy and the United Kingdom to attend the 16th G20 Summit and World Leaders Summit of COP26. During the first leg of his visit, Mr. Modi will reach Rome to participate in the G20 Summit from 30th to 31st of this month at the invitation of Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi. The grouping of the world's 20 major economies has emerged as a partner global forum for international economic cooperation, and this will be the 8th G20 summit with the Prime Minister Modi will be attending. The summit under the Italian presidency is centered around the theme People, Planet, Prosperity. It focuses on the areas of recovery from the pandemic and strengthening of the global health governance, economic recovery and resilience, climate change and energy transition, and sustainable development and food security. India is scheduled to host the G20 summit in 2023 for the first time at COP26 in Glasgow. The parties will work to achieve the completion of Paris Agreement implementation guidelines, the mobilization of climate finance actions to strengthen climate adaptation, technology development and transfer, and keeping in the reach the Paris Agreement goals of limiting the rise in global temperatures. China said that its new land border will not affect the implementation of existing border treaties or change the country's position on border-related questions. Beijing's response comes a day after India's Ministry of External Affairs expressed concerns about the legislation in a view of a procreated military standoff between India and China along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. The Government of India and Asian Development Bank on Thursday signed a $251 million loan on climate-resilient integrated urban flood protection and management in the Chennai coastal basin to strengthen resilience of Chennai city to floods. The agreement was signed between Rajat Kumar Mishra, Additional Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs, and Tekio Konishi, Country Director of Asian Development Bank's India Resident Mission. Now coming to the world news, China will build a base for police in Kazakhstan near the Afghan border. The base posed due to deepening the security cooperation between impoverished Kazakhstan and China, which is reported to maintain another base in southwest of the ex-Soviet country. 3 cops shot dead at TLP rally in Pakistan on 27th of October. The outlaw Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has been behind major anti-France protests that earlier this year led to the embassy issuing a warning for all French citizens to leave the country. The World Health Organization has expressed concerns over the worsening coronavirus disease pandemic situation in Europe. On Wednesday, the UN health body said that Europe had the maximum number of cases and deaths due to the viral disease over the last week. Coming towards the COVID update national, India reported 14,348 new COVID-19 cases and 805 deaths in the last 24 hours, informed the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The country reported 13,198 recoveries in the last 24 hours, taking the recovery rate at 98.19%, which is the highest since March 2020. The country's active caseload stands at 1,61,334. The active cases account for the less than 1% of the total cases, currently at 0.47%, which is the lowest since March 2020. This much for today. For more updates, keep following Northwest Web Shots. Thank you and good night.